Do we... okay, I should go to the bathroom before we do this, actually, but...
You're going to leave me with chat.
Yes. Behave yourself.
Pretend Matt's muted.
Okay.
I can't hear you.
What? You're joking. I'm gonna scroll back in chat and this gave me like a meme. Chat, he's memeing, right?
You know you're muted?
No, I'm not muted.
I can't hear you, dude.
Oh wait, did TGG actually mute me? I can't tell if he's just making this joke.
You gonna leave the call and try again, or?
How long are you gonna put this meme on? I can hear me on my stream. Fuck off, dude. Fuck off.
You notice the doubt set in though? Like
you
about
kept
halfway
that going
through that,
forever.
you were like, wait, hold on a second.
I never doubted even for a moment. Okay?
No,
I just
you did. There was a moment there.
Going to the stream. So, do we do like? Is there like an intro we do now or something? Like,
Are you talking?
fuck off.
Hello and welcome.
To the 6-Star Podcast with me and TGG. Me being Dark Viper EU, as we talk about general topics as well as, I suspect, mostly things related to GTA 5, GTA 6, and Rockstar games.
Yes, we thought the world needs another GTA 6 news outlet. You know, there's not enough nonsense out there. So we are here to be, in all honesty, hopefully a light in the dark in terms of clearing up a lot of misinformation out there, giving honest opinions on stuff.
It's a
in
good
longer
tagline
form.
for the podcast. A light in the dark.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I mean, let's be real, there's a lot of rubbish with GTA 6 out there. And us as two of the bigger GTA content creators, hopefully we can clear up, a lot of the misinfo and provide more context to a lot of the stuff that's coming out about this game in the lead up to its release. But also just talk about anything, gaming, Rockstar Games related, as well as just general life stuff I'm sure we'll get into. You know, it's a podcast. We're probably going to talk about a bunch of stuff, but...
A lot of yapping.
A lot of yapping. Replacing your rambles in a weird way.
Hopefully.
While also bringing a bit of a new perspective into it with myself. So hopefully people enjoy it. We're launching this on a new channel. It's going to be the 6-Star channel. 6 stars, GTA 6, we're hoping is going to have a 6-star wanted level. Anyway.
Do you think whether or not GTA 6 has a 6-star wanted level really matters? I talked about this once before, where ultimately, like, the stars don't mean anything. It's just another interval of
exactly
of the amount of cops, because they could squish the amount of cops and whatever they want with 6 stars into 5 stars if they wanted to. It's just like 6 stars has always just seemed as though like one step beyond, and it'd be a scale higher.
So what is it now? Like 1 star is a few cops. 2 stars is just slightly more. At 3 stars you get a helicopter.
And they try and shoot you in 2, because in 1 they try to arrest you.
Okay.
And
in
you
single player anyway.
Do they not arrest you in online at all?
No.
Oh really? That sucks. Because it barely happens in single player anyway. But it's funny, in single player you can get arrested on any wanted level. It's just so unlikely, because they just shoot you to death whenever they get anywhere close.
So what happens at 4 stars? 3 is the helicopter.
4 is what, like SWAT or whatever, right? And then they come down from the helicopters and stuff, don't they?
So what's the difference between 4 and 5 then?
Maybe just more. SWAT vans and stuff. People in chat are saying. 6 stars
SWAT
used to be the
vans.
military. What?
4 is news. Yeah, 6 used to be the military. So if there is a 6-star wanted level, you would assume they would bring that back.
What game was that? GTA 3?
I think almost every GTA. I was under the impression that it was 6 stars, but for GTA 5, they changed it to 5 stars because 5.
Really?
That's what I always thought.
That would kind of make sense.
So I always assumed they would go back to 6 stars once GTA 6 comes out. It would make sense.
That would make sense. Yeah, so hopefully we'll see that then, just for the bit of the meme. And it would make our name make more sense. It would suck if they stick with 5
if it's
stars.
5 stars, this is a bit of a G-up, isn't it? This is no good.
Yeah.
Might have to rename the podcast.
We'll get on to our contacts at Rockstar and make sure and confirm.
Yeah,
they
all
got
the
those 6
inside
stars.
info that we have, we should be able to,
So we've got a list of topics that we will be adding to every week and going through, and in some hopefully organized fashion.
There has been a lot of random stuff happening in the GTA space over the past 2 weeks. Like, we have a lot to talk about, honestly.
Yeah. Which will be the goal currently, to cover the last 2 weeks of topics. If people like the show enough, we might do it more frequently than that. But currently it's bi-weekly.
So do we want to start with the release date stuff?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Okay, so Take-Two Interactive is reaffirmed. All right, big emphasis on the reaffirmed part for a fall 2025 release date for GTA 6. We've both made videos on it. We've spoke about it, but we can elaborate a bit more on it here because there's still a lot of people confused as to what the hell that means, which makes sense. There's a lot of company talk in there. It was an earnings call after all. Do you want to give your thoughts on it first?
Honestly, the main thing that I found interesting in the whole thing was their justification as to why they haven't been marketing it. But because they've always been saying it. Well, they have for the longest time said it's fall 2025 because that's the only thing they've ever said.
6 months now.
Yeah, but that's the only thing they've ever said publicly. There was that time before where, remember how there was like an internal delay that people would talk about sometimes?
Well, Rockstar's never said fall 2025.
Yeah, Rockstar's never said publicly anything except fall 2025. So
no, they didn't even say fall 2025. Rockstar just said 2025.
Really?
Yeah. All of this info we've got from Take-Two Interactive earning calls.
Oh, right, yeah. I think of Rockstar and Take-Two as same entity, but that's true.
Sure, which was really strange, actually, when this was announced a few months ago, that it would be coming in fall 2025, because everyone was so shocked that it came from Take-Two and not Rockstar. Rockstar, from memory, never lets Take-Two announce their release dates. That's always them. We can dive into a little bit why I think we haven't heard anything from Rockstar yet. But as for right now, Take-Two Interactive was very, very... They used their words, you know...
They're very adamant, yeah.
Yeah, they said we're reaffirming 2025 fall.
Is there any possibility that that Rockstar and Take-Two could be of different minds as to when the game's coming out? Like Take-Two is adamant and Rockstar's like, oh yeah, it might come out, whatever. As in like Rockstar... Because it's technically two separate entities. It could be the case that Take-Two isn't...
I don't think so, and the reason for that is because what happened with Borderlands. So, Borderlands 4 got its release date announced, which is September 23. Take-Two had said publicly before that they are not going to release Borderlands and GTA, or Mafia, for that matter, close to each other. Now, they wouldn't let Borderlands pick a release date unless they knew when GTA 6 very precisely was coming out. Maybe they don't know an exact date, but they need to know like a month at least.
Or at least that's when it's planned. Like there must be a planned date, because you never know what happens, or if some issues arise or things just aren't predicted well. Like it's hard to predict when things are going to be certainly finalized, but they've been working on the game for so long. You'd assume with that much lead up to the release that they would have things fairly scheduled well. But I mean, so when was Red Dead 2 delayed? How close was that to release? It was
when was it delayed?
Yeah, it was within 6 months, I think, of release.
I believe it was February. So it was meant to come out early 2018, right?
I think so. It's half November.
And it was delayed in February 1st or the end of January, I believe. So it was only a handful of months out. Maybe not even that. Maybe a few months out.
So clearly these things can happen. Like it's...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's still a chance that the game gets delayed, of course. But I think there is too much fear-mongering going on in the community right now from Twitter pages, from YouTubers, everyone. And I don't think they have bad intentions with it, but they're setting in everyone's mind that the game is probably going to get delayed. There's a few reasons I don't believe that. The first being that the game already got internally delayed, which everyone seems to want to ignore. From Take-Two's earnings, we knew that they were expecting to make a shitload of money before April this year. A shitload of money. They moved that. They said, we're not going to make that money early in the year anymore. We're actually going to make it later this year. Guys, completely unrelated note, GTA 6 now is also launching in fall at the end of the year. Okay, we can connect the dots there, right? They've moved their earnings with GTA 6. So GTA 6, at least for Take-Two, they initially planned for it to come out in maybe March. That got pushed back. That was about 6 months ago now. So that's old news. but that was an internal delay. Rockstar knew that could happen, which is why they only said 2025. But I would say that was an internal delay. So for it to get another delay into 2026, it's possible, of course.
As you say, nothing's impossible, but it's not. We have no reason to suspect that at this time. It's more worries, I think. And of course, the history of their previous big titles being delayed. But it has been a long time since their last title, and they have been working on this for so long that I think it's less likely this time around. Especially after they gave their justification as to why they weren't marketing it at this point. Because it's been 450 days since the first trailer. I wonder if they only released that trailer because of all the leaks, and they felt like they had to say something publicly because the only thing being talked about was the leaks. There was no official word. Because after the woman on the Take-Two team or whatever, when she was saying that they see no reason to market a game way before release. What was the justification? I think that was
a really underrated part of that call that a lot of people skipped. I tried to emphasize that in the video I made. That she said, essentially, I can't remember exactly what she said, but she paraphrasing roughly here that games don't have... They market games closer to launch and then beyond launch nowadays, as we sort of switch to this online live service ecosystem. So
and just the way that social media is now, where there's just always new topics coming in and out. Like everything just seems so ephemeral. It just disappears. Yeah. Like you put out some marketing for $10 million and people talk about it for 2 days, then forget about it. It's not like people aren't talking about GTA 6 even now. And listening to that, I was like, yeah, okay. Like my expectations were, because they made the release of trailer 1, that they were going to market from then on. And so when there was no marketing, I was like, well, this is weird. Why would they start the marketing push and then do nothing? But thinking about it in the way that they want to just have some official word because of the leaks and that they want to market closer to release, I think that makes perfect sense. And it's made me less concerned that there is going to be a delay. But at the same time, my concerns won't ever be assuaged until they actually start marketing the game for real.
Yeah, I agree. Think about it this way, though. Borderlands just got its release date last week, right? Or the week before, for 23rd of September. They also only just got their second trailer.
Yeah. So they're not... Exactly. So they're not marketing the game.
Exactly. So let's say GTA 6 is going to come out 1 month after Borderlands, for example. Then we shouldn't expect the trailer for at least another month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it all makes sense. I think it's entirely possible. I'm more confident now than I ever have been that it's actually going to hit its official release, which is good.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about this October 28 release date thing real quick? This is a bit of misinformation that's been going around on Twitter mainly. I've seen some YouTube videos as well.
Because anyone will make a YouTube video about anything related to GTA 6, regardless of how silly.
So Kotaku, Zach is the writer's name. He worded his article in a very strange way that sounded like he was confirming that GTA 6 will be coming out on October 28. Now, it was an educated guess. I don't know why he worded it the way he did. And I don't think he's completely wrong in saying that GTA 6 could possibly, probably, maybe launch around October 28. It makes sense. 1 month after Borderlands, which is also owned by Take-Two Interactive. Give a month for Borderlands until everyone jumps on GTA 6, because your grandma will be playing GTA 6, right? So everyone will be touching it. Pause. Yeah, that was sus. Pause. But yes, GTA 6 needs its own slot, because after GTA 6 comes out, no one's going to be playing anything else for a while.
Yeah, and it's in the same way that all the other developers really want GTA 6 to hit that actual release date, because many other companies have steered their releases away from when GTA 6 is meant to release. And so if GTA 6 gets delayed, it's going to get delayed into the release schedules of other games. And it's going to ruin everyone's schedules. I wonder if that happened with GTA 5 and Red Dead 2. It's hard for me to remember how... I don't think the level of hype was the same around Red Dead 2 or even GTA 5. I mean, just because there's so many more gamers and stuff now.
Yeah. It was definitely the biggest game pretty much ever at that point, but it wasn't... It wasn't to this
Yeah.
level because the wait from 4 to 5 was only 5 years, right?
Yeah, this is double
This has
that.
been
More.
almost 12 now.
And as well, the online has just enabled GTA to reach a ridiculous amount of people over. Like everyone has played GTA 5 or GTA Online to some degree.
Gamer. Yeah.
You don't usually get this sort of life cycle, continued relevance of a title. Like it's still in like top 10 games on Steam for all this time. So it's nuts.
Pretty much every month, it's a top selling game as well on PlayStation and Xbox. It's absolutely ridiculous. But as for that article, October 28, if you've heard that, it'll probably be close to that, but that is not confirmed. Yeah, that is a guess.
Late October, early November is my guess currently. It's a huge window, but you know. But so he had no authority to say this. It was just a guess. He wasn't a guy. He was just a writer for Kotaku.
Yeah. He was also the one that reported GTA 6 could get delayed to 2026 last year. I don't know if he does have any sources. The main issue, honestly, wasn't even necessarily his article. It was the people that misinterpreted his article and tried to make it seem like he was confirming that.
Whether that's intentional or unintentional, you know.
I would say probably both for certain pages, right? Some didn't mean to, some would have, for sure.
But this Corsair CEO says PC GTA 6 will launch early 2026. Even this, I don't think he was saying that with any level of confidence, right? It was more like a hope.
That's something that he's probably telling his investors.
Yeah. Maybe an educated guess, but I don't know why.
I wouldn't even say it's educated. I would say it's a guess because
because our guesses are also educated in that, you know.
Well,
as in like you can guess that the PC release is gonna be about a year potentially, but he's saying 6 months.
GTA 5 was a year and a half. Red Dead 2 was a year and a bit, right?
No, I thought it was close to a year for Red Dead 2, right?
Okay. Yeah, well, expanded and enhanced has now been 2 years.
No,
for GTA 5 as well.
Longer than that.
It's almost been 2 years. It was March 2022.
From announcement.
No, wait, 2022. Holy shit! No, it's been 3. Hold on.
No, it's way longer. From the announcement was like 2020. But of course, in the announcement they didn't specifically say it was coming to PC. Like it depends on when you're counting it from.
Oh my god! Did it come out? You did in 2020. It's been 3 years.
Yeah, it depends if you're counting it from the console release or the announcement. But it's been so it's like 3 years from the console release, right?
Yeah.
And like 5 years from the announcement, whatever. Like it's nuts. But it's not exactly the same thing as the GTA 6 PC. But like I would love for it to come out within 6 months. That'd be awesome. And I think that'd be more than enough time for. Well, I think it'd be more than enough time for people to buy it on console. And for Rockstar to double dip, as long as they don't announce it. If they announce, oh hey guys, we're actually releasing on PC a lot earlier, I think that would actually eat into console sales. There'll be some people who will just wait. But if people expect, like myself, that it's going to be a year, we're more likely to buy it on console first. So even if it is coming early 2026, I don't think they're going to announce that. They'll want people to be like, I have to get on console. It's the only person going to be able to play it.
From a content creation perspective, I hope it doesn't come out for at least a year because we'll have so much to do just with the base game.
Yeah, I mean,
for like a year at least, and then you'd throw PC into that, and you got all the mods and stuff coming out. Like, I got to get through all of the base stuff first, you know. But for PC players, obviously, you hope it comes sooner rather than later. Pause.
Yeah, I don't like I don't like controllers though. That's my only main gripe about being on console, and the question of how and the question of how well it's going to run, even on the PS5 Pro or whatever. I assume this game is going to be built to kind of scale with the hardware as it goes forward. So it's going to be able to take advantage of whatever the PlayStation 6 is and stuff. So I assume. Like they do you think they're going to go for 60 FPS on console or just going to hit the 30?
I think they'll probably go for 30 at a minimum.
Yeah.
I've been playing Red Dead 2 on PS5 now, and 30 FPS is tough. A lot of people will tell you it doesn't matter. It does. 100% it does. I think they're probably going to aim for a baseline of 30, And then depending on if you have a PS5 Pro or a base PS5, you might be able to get closer to 60, hopefully, but that's a guess.
I can't remember when they went from the first version of GTA 5 to the next on console. Did they hit 60 FPS on
PS4?
Yeah. No, right, no.
On PS4, if you load into GTA Online, you'll be getting a solid 15.
Yeah. Yes.
It's really bad.
But going to PlayStation 5, they did. And
yes.
Yeah. So,
depending on which mode you play on. If you want fidelity, it's locked at 30.
I just mean that
it gets to 60.
If they go for 30, then that's a selling bonus of the next console edition. It's like, well, you didn't like 30 FPS, sure. Now you can get it 60 on the next console, and people have a reason to buy it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they would be willing to potentially hurt their sales of the first release to prime for the next release, but you never know with Rockstar. They sold this game 57 times. But it's possible.
You would assume that they're gonna take every opportunity to release it as many times as possible and make the most money possible.
Yeah. So Corsair CEO knows nothing. I wonder to what degree he was like, hey guys, buy Corsair products, because definitely GTA 6 will be on PC.
Apparently Corsair's stock took a jump after that.
Because they mentioned GTA 6, really?
I guess. I don't know. When do you think we'll hear more about GTA 6?
I think soon. It really depends on when it's going to release. Like, I think it's going to be within 6 months before release that we'll hear something. And that depends if it's November or October, you know.
You would say like March into April?
Yeah. I think soon. I don't think they're going to leave it much longer. I'm
Are you
surprised
a believer
they've left
of
it
the
this long,
t-shirt? Do you believe in the t-shirt?
I've not followed this stuff. I see some of it on your channel sometimes, the theories and the codes and stuff, but I barely remember it. What's the t-shirt?
So in the San Andreas Mercenaries update in 2023, they released a t-shirt that was called ? On that, it had aliens in the middle, as well as a code, a big string of numbers along the side. If you translate those numbers in some sort of decoder, it says, "One day will reveal all."
I do remember.
Now, people thought that was a Chiliad mystery Easter egg. It could be, who knows? In that code was the sequence of the date, December 5, 2023, which was when GTA 6 Trailer 1 came out. Or it was supposed to. It got leaked a day early. That's when it was supposed to come out. Also in that code was April 1st, 2025.
April Fool's Day.
So either
I guess we'll
Rockstar's trolling us with April Fools, or we're gonna look like April Fools on April 1st.
What makes it unrealistic to me is the idea that the exact dates for the marketing has been scheduled since 2023. So 2 years, like.
Is it though? If they knew, let's say internally they always expected the game was going to come out late 2025, is that crazy?
I mean, but surely you'd give yourself some wiggle room, like, because I mean, you never know what's going to go on 2 years from now.
But it's only a trailer date.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
It's not a release date.
It's not impossible, but it does make it seem like if you had said this came out a year ago, I'd be more willing to believe. But 2 years, you know.
That was only about 5 months before trailer 1.
I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I am more skeptical because it's so far out. We'll see what happens.
So you would say it's a coincidence that there is the trailer date within that sequence of numbers? No, I know a guy that knows a bit about probabilities, and he would say that the chances of that happening are in fact millions to 1.
We'll see. I mean, you're right. That is seemingly quite unlikely, but the other one could just be a guess. April Fools.
Time will tell.
Time will indeed tell.
I hope so. It lines up, like at this point it does. April 1st lines up with kind of what everyone's expecting for GTA 6 news. Really, if it's about 6 months before the planned release date, then April does make sense.
Yeah, it would. So what did you think about this launch of the Rockstar Discord? And why now?
You want to know my real thoughts on it?
I do, yes.
They have been planning this Discord since April of last year. That's when they started making posts in there. The server was started in 2019, actually, just privately.
Oh.
It has just been made public over the past few weeks. I do find it interesting that the very first tab, or one of the very first tabs in the Discord server, is Grand Theft Auto 6. It's at the very top.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know. Rockstar is a cruel company. They are. But I don't know that they would launch a Discord server with a GTA 6 discussion tab and just let people talk about nothing in there for months and months on end. That seems cruel, even for Rockstar. We'll see. It does seem like a strange time to do it, especially if they had it planned and they were working on it since last year.
Oh, so you think they released this Discord publicly because they're preempting some GTA 6 information that they want people to discuss in the Discord?
I think they've created the Discord to build a stronger connection with their fan base and give their fan base a place to talk about the upcoming game, yes.
I question if this is somehow related to... it's actually coming up later. All the talks of GTA 6 gonna have some creator stuff, like Roblox and Fortnite and stuff. And maybe this is somehow connected to that, a place where you can... I mean, it'd be weird if it was done just through Discord, but a place that you can meet and make groups and stuff for the online components and stuff of GTA 6. The only reason that's a little bit doubtful is because it's so far out from the release of any of that kind of stuff. But I find that more believable than them wanting a place where people discuss GTA 6. Like, I mean, we have tons of places to discuss GTA 6.
They also have a GTA 5 LFG section as well for you to find groups to play GTA 5 with.
Maybe it's maybe it's just kind of like, why not? I mean, like, it doesn't have to provide that much value. The cost is next to zero. Like, you may as well have an official one so that no one else can pretend to be the official Rockstar Discord. I mean, I haven't followed fake Rockstar Discords. Maybe there has been a bunch that have been scamming people. That happens on Discord all the time. But I don't think they're planning to do much with it. Like, I don't think this is a key component in their chessboard of GTA 6 marketing. But I could be wrong. How many people are in it now? Like, hundreds of thousands?
Few 100,000.
Yeah. Bigger than my Discord.
I think it's... Now, from what I've spoke to a couple people at Rockstar at this point. The Australian guys.
Yep.
Both of them have made it very clear to me that they want to build a stronger connection with their fan base. And they feel like it's sort of dissipated over the past few years, which I would agree with. I think Rockstar is going to take steps to try and mend that relationship in the lead up to 6 and beyond. And I think this is one of the ways they're doing it. So I think beyond just GTA 6 hype, I think they're trying to build a stronger connection with their fans.
When you say dissipated, do you mean because, are you saying that Rockstar has done something to cause that? Or are you just saying because of the competition in the marketplace, that your Marvel rivals and your all the other games that have come out that have taken market share, that have that people are now hyped about?
No, I think it's Rockstar.
Really? Because I question how much the average consumer really follows what Rockstar does on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, your average consumer doesn't?
Yeah. I mean, because you want the diehard people on your side as well, obviously.
Yeah,
I guess those are the kind of people you've been making a Discord server for.
Yeah.
True.
You're not making it for the casual fan. So Rockstar doesn't have a community manager. That's something that I'd like to see in the future. But even then, a community manager isn't appealing to that casual person, right? That's someone who's locked in and is in the space, in the community. When I've spoke to the guys at Rockstar, I wouldn't say I was brutal in a few things that I said, but I said, look, things that have happened over the past few years, the fan base isn't really engaged and loving Rockstar at this point in time. With GTA Online, people feel the updates have gotten worse and worse.
And GTA Plus.
GTA Plus, yes, 100%. And the fact that Rockstar doesn't talk to the community anymore.
Yeah, you can go back in the early days, especially when GTA 5 released, and there's all the Twitter engagement and stuff, and actual banter, and... Yeah, now it seems all sterile. Like, they do promote...
It doesn't feel like there's a human.
Yeah, they promote a little bit of the community stuff, but it seems so offhanded, like they don't really care.
Almost AI generated, right?
Yeah.
The way they write it.
Especially if they're wanting to go down this route of having content creators involved or creator content and stuff to build out the library of stuff that you can do in GTA 6 Online. You need the most committed, passionate people on your side to be able to do that kind of stuff. In this article, it says anonymous sources, but it does mention how people are claiming, at least, that Rockstar has reached out to content creators for Fortnite, Roblox, and GTA 5. Potentially people who, make stuff already in those, what are they called? Creator clubs?
The
creator ecosystems. There's a word for it.
The Unreal Engine Fortnite thing. Yeah. But I don't know the term that you're looking for.
Yeah.
But this doesn't surprise me at all. And anyone who's been like really locked in on these earnings calls would know that this is
where they want
most likely the direction that they've been hinting at for months now. So in the last earnings call, not the one that just happened, the one before that, Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two, was very adamant about the future of online gaming being user-generated content.
Yeah.
He said that months ago.
Which makes sense because, 1,000 people working passionately can develop so much faster than any company and can change with the trends so much faster. And you have to go through all the potential red tape of getting money assigned or people assigned or moving people off different projects. It's just someone makes something amazing and bam, hundreds of thousands of people interested in your game because of that one thing that person made. I mean, it's similar to what Dota 1 did with Warcraft 3 and how that ultimately led to Dota 2, which is one of the most successful games on Steam with Valve. And the same with Auto Chess. There are a lot of examples of people making game modes and stuff in these games where you can make such things and them going on to being actual successful games.
No, 100%. Like the Liberty City mod, which we'll talk about in a bit. But I mean, look a bit closer at what Rockstar specifically has done over the past, let's say, 2 years. So I know a lot of people aren't really locked in on GTA Online specifically. So, okay, look what they did about a year and a half ago. They bought 5M. Why? All right, that's user-generated content. If you've been playing GTA Online over the past couple of years, you would know that Rockstar's favorite thing to do nowadays is put triple money on community series jobs. They do that almost every week now. They also make dedicated posts to highlighting user-created jobs in the job creator. They didn't really used to do this until about a year and a half ago. It's clear that there's a shift in how they're marketing everything and the acquisitions that they're making, that user-generated content is going to be a big part of the future of the company. And there's been hints. There have been hints if you've been looking closely.
It's interesting how many things that GTA Online was like on the forefront for, whether it be microtransactions, all this user-generated content, but they just didn't take it as far as other people have. Because obviously there's far more microtransactions that are far worse than in GTA Online. And obviously the creator content has been taken to a much further extent than in Fortnite and Roblox than it has in GTA Online. And I wonder how much Rockstar's kicking themselves like, we could have done so much more back then. I mean, they released GTA Plus, more microtransactions. They're correcting their mistakes of the past. Why did they not have loot boxes? So much money.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just put loot boxes in GTA. Honestly, though, I think there is... People are going to hate me for this. I think there's more room for better monetization in GTA Online. I'm going to be honest with you. I would be down to spend $10 every few months to get a battle pass, as opposed to paying for GTA Plus or paying for shark cards. I hate pay to win. That's just me.
The thing about Battle Pass is it gives people a reason to continuously play. It brings people back, and that's
which is something we don't have in GTA Online at all.
Because honestly, I'm always surprised that anyone keeps coming back other than to play with their friends in just a world that they're familiar with. Because I always have some specific goal, something I want to achieve, some new bit of content that I want to play. But some people just grind, like you have millions of dollars, and it's interesting. It's because as a person who took a long time to appreciate GTA Online, let's say, it's been a surprise to me how long it's stuck around and how well it's competed with other games in the market. And to some degree, I think that's just because not enough good games have come out.
There's nothing like it.
Especially to compete in that particular space. Like, I think you could have beaten GTA Online 5 years ago if you wanted to spend billions of dollars and wanted to take on Rockstar, but no one wanted to.
Oh, it'd take a lot to beat it.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
I'm just going to take a bathroom break, and then when I come back, do you want to get into this March 4th stuff?
I knew nothing about it.
Okay, I'll talk about it.
Okay, sounds good.
Give me a sec.
I got to tell TGG to speak into his mic as well. You would hate if GTA 6 had a battle pass? I'm not against battle passes. I think battle passes are the least egregious form of monetization that exists, but it all depends on the battle pass. If the battle pass is easily doable just by playing the game, and you just have the option of paying money if, I don't know, you just didn't play that month, but you want the stuff in it, that's very different than you can only get the battle pass by paying, and they make the battle pass effectively unachievable unless you pay money. That's garbage, right? TGG is muted. I hope so. Battle Pass makes sense for free games, but if I'm paying for a $60 game, I expect all the content to be accessible. GTA 6 shouldn't have a Battle Pass. I mean, that'd be the case with the single player though, right? The single player, everything would be accessible for $60. But I suppose, yeah, because you'd have to be paying that $60 to get access to the online content. But how long would that be true for that you would expect all the content to be free? Like you expect them to continue to develop the game for the next 10 years just off base sales? I don't think GT Online or GT Online 2 needs a battle pass. I think the shark card thing they have going now is fine, except that it might be one of the main causes of the economy ballooning to an insane degree. I think they're going to stick with GTA Plus and it's just going to become worse. They're going to gate more and more content. But the idea of a subscription gating content, it seems so antiquated. Like,
yeah, so we'll talk into my mic more.
Oh, you could hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good then. I was like, oh, I might have to catch him up with what I was saying, but...
I hate shark cards. I hate pay to win.
I mean, how much of the... Well, I suppose, yeah, in the free roam stuff, that is pay to win if you can buy the most defensive vehicles and stuff. Like, anything that's really competitive is just going to be in a lobby where you set the rules and stuff, right? And that doesn't matter at that point, how much money you spend in the game. Like, I doubt many people are paying money to get a competitive advantage in the game, right? In PvP, are they?
Why else do you think they would buy a shark card?
I think it's the same.
Maybe, hold on, let me rephrase that. In terms of what you said about a competitive advantage, not necessarily in terms of PvP. Maybe they might buy like the best jet, but in terms of efficiency, for example, it's much more effective to get a Presser Mark II to make money faster in the future.
Sure, but you're not really in competition with other people to get money, except when you're actually fighting in the lobby or whatever. Like if one guy has $1 billion and you have 10 million, I mean it's doesn't matter in terms of anything. Like I think people buy shark cards for the same reason why you can go onto Steam, the marketplace, and buy a skin for CS:GO for $50. Like actually $50 for a skin that I don't even think that looks that good. I've got a set of gloves right now that is currently worth $12,000. I did not spend $12,000 for those gloves. I unboxed them and I'm like, who would spend $12,000 for a pair of gloves? But there are people who will do that. And
why are you holding on to that?
Because it keeps going up. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I don't need the money.
It's an investment.
Yeah, I think it was worth $6,000 like 2 years ago. I'm like, oh well, let's see how far this goes. But anyway, it's with all these games where there's always that small portion of people who just have ridiculous amounts of money and they will just fund the entire game for everyone else because they're whales, as they call them. And I think that's what it is. It's just people going like, I want to buy X, Y, and Z. I'm going to spend all the money. My question always is though, with these people, wouldn't they just get dissatisfied with the game because they have everything then, and there's nothing left to do?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think GTA actually keeps people around. I think the game is so popular because it keeps bringing new people in.
Or people played it 4 years ago and come back and play a bit because of all the content that builds up over that time. It's in the same way that I was with World of Warcraft, where I had invested so much time into the game that I would stop playing, but then it'd be like, oh, well, there's a new update come out, or there's a new expansion or whatever. I guess I'll come back. And it just, with Rockstar having reached so many people, there's always that large group of people just coming back, or a group of friends going, we haven't played GTA Online in a while, we'll play it a bit. Yeah. So you're right. I would love to see stats on how many people have consistently played GTA Online for so many years. Like how many people actually make it 3 years? I wouldn't imagine.
It's got to be such a low percentage.
Yeah. But us content creators being different.
Yeah, I did that, and then I only really got back into the game when I started making content in 2019. I took a break around 2016-ish for a few years. There's only so many times you can run the same sale missions over and over again before it stale.
I've also always said that the gameplay is fairly simplistic, especially compared to a lot of games that exist now, where you can like, I know, vault over stuff and slide, and the gunplay is more complicated and stuff. It's a very simple game. The gameplay was great for 2013, but compared to games that exist now, no, okay, they were, even back in 2013, especially having played now a lot of games that came around 2013, I agree that it wasn't like the best, but it was still good. Like I've always made the comment that I thought it was just like a thing where you couldn't destroy trees in games back then. Like it was just too complicated. But like all the other GTA-like games around that time, you could destroy trees. Yeah. It was just their limitations of the consoles that likely had them not have us able to do that. But
yeah, you got to pick what you prioritize with the memory available and whatnot.
Yes,
they chose to prioritize the world as opposed to being able to blow up the world, I guess.
Have you seen the comparisons as to the foliage and the grass and stuff that it existed?
Re-release?
Yeah, it was so good.
It looked awesome.
Yeah, and it had to scrap it all. I'm surprised they brought none of that back for the later versions of the game, but I guess they were just either lost to time or just too complicated to re-add, or
yeah, I don't know. Probably just not worthwhile.
Having all the versions be slightly different in various different ways, whatever would cause confusion, especially feeling online probably.
I've also heard that the game is just complete spaghetti code, and it's hard to actually update it.
I hear that all the time.
So, yeah.
So this.
You want to talk about March 4?
Yeah, well, I have no idea what this is. Hey guys, so this was recorded before we had confirmation as to what was coming out on March 4th, which as it turns out, the expanded and enhanced version of GTA 5 is finally coming to PC. So TGG and I will obviously discuss that in a later podcast, but for now, the following was just our speculation as to what could have come on March 4th.
Okay, so there's a little rumor going around that's, well, it's not really a rumor. Something is probably going to happen on March 4th in terms of GTA Online. So anyone who's been in the loop would know that GTA Plus normally, they do monthly GTA Plus benefits, okay? They normally end on a Thursday and then restart the next month on a Thursday when the weekly update goes live. You know, you get your new GTA Plus benefits. Twice a year, they end on a Tuesday. That's because DLCs launch on a Tuesday and then their weekly update starts on a Tuesday as well. That is when the DLCs come out. So in December and then June or July. So the GTA Plus month will end on a Tuesday only when there is a DLC coming out. This current GTA Plus month is ending on Tuesday, March 4. Weird.
Yeah, so
we do know that we will be getting this hangar DLC in GTA Online. It's going to be a mini DLC that's going to bring an AC-130 into the game, a Pavlo as well. It's like a cargo bob. It's got a hook.
So this is with Ron or whatever?
No, it's going to be with what's his name? Trevor's hangar, Mackenzie Airfield.
Oh, yeah. Wait, the guy from Single Player?
Yeah.
Oh.
What's his name?
I don't know. I haven't done that. I skip that cutscene whenever I'm doing it.
Oscar.
Oscar, yes, of course. Yes.
Oscar Guzman Flies Again is the name of it.
And so this is what, in a way, bringing more single player stuff into online as some
exactly.
content.
So it'll be those missions pretty much exactly the same. You'll be able to buy the Mackenzie hangar for about $1.5 million. It'll give you 20 more aircraft slots, and then there's going to be a mini heist, kind of like the Clerkenwell Farm raid, where you steal an AC-130.
And so this is all leaks. Getting this.
It's in the game files. You can see the cutscenes and everything. So that's. I would assume that's probably coming out March 4th. But I'm pretty sure Clerkenwell March last year launched on a Thursday. So it's weird that the GTA Plus month is ending on a Tuesday, which has led people to believe, this is not me confirming it, this has led people to believe that the PC expanded and enhanced update could be coming out on March 4th.
Like, what does that even get us now? It's that
career progress, which you would hate because you will need to make an entire new series, and I will tell you, it fucking sucks.
It's not even that I'd have to make a whole new series. It's that my current series isn't done yet. The footage is behind, and so it'd be weird, like me going, "Hey, I got all the awards," and it's like career progress, GT expanded enhanced. I don't know. People still watch it.
You have to sell 1,000 hanger crates.
Yeah. I'm not gonna look forward to shit like that. No.
I did 600. And then the DLC came out and it wiped it. And it never got fixed. So I'm at 700 again now. I have done 1,300 hanger crates over the past year and a half.
Dude, and how long?
300 left.
And how long does that take? Like This is you're grinding to $1 billion or whatever.
Well,
right?
if I've got people on stream helping, I could fill up the hangar in a couple hours. So 50 in a couple hours.
Damn, dude.
You're gonna do it. You know you're gonna do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I joked before that there's probably someone at Rockstar who knows that I will get the awards and it's just adding annoying awards.
Oh, they keep adding them.
Yeah, yeah.
Have fun doing every contact mission in the game without taking more than 50% damage, while keeping your accuracy above 80% and not using snacks or body armor at all.
Oh god. I mean, I guess
look at his face.
I'll do it, but it's getting painful. But honestly, I don't dislike them doing this, bringing single player content into GTA Online. In a way, I'm surprised they didn't do it earlier, while they were, even when they were really focused on making new content for online. I'm surprised they didn't have like mini DLCs at the time that brought single player stuff to online. But these days, like I'd say, I'd rather they be focused on GTA 6. So any kind of
100%.
little thing for online is fine by me. I'm not sure if everyone feels that way. I know some people like make jokes when they're, clearly we're doing minor turbulence in GTA Online sort of thing. And I'm like, it doesn't matter.
It's a weird predicament to be in. I find it strange as a creator as well, because the content is good that it's coming, right? It's good that the single player content is making its way into online. Like Animals, for example. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we can be honest and say it's not fantastic content.
No, but that being said, though, the amount of people who never played through single player or played through single player like in 2013, like this is all new for them. So the problem isn't that it's single player content. It's more that even excluding that, it's not that amazing anyway. Like, it'd be a separate matter if the content was unbelievably awesome in single player and in online, but it's good in single player and it's okay in online. Because it's not really. It's the problem that GTA Online has always had. Like, nothing really moves the needle in terms of innovating on the gameplay or giving us something truly new to do. It's been roughly the same game for the last 12 years. Like Fortnite, you're getting like hammers that fly you around the map and stuff. Like the game fundamentally changes.
Really cool stuff that changes the way you play.
Maybe it even changes too much for some people, but like the game fundamentally changes. But GTA Online has always been the exact same shit, and that's good in some ways, bad in others. It's a familiar setting, but as you say, it's probably one of the reasons why you have few people, or we expect there's few people who stay for many, many years playing continuously, and more just jump back in every once in a while.
Pretty much what you just said is exactly what I said in my Agents of Sabotage DLC review, where I said, this stuff is cool, but you look at other live service games, and when they add new content, it is refreshing. It changes the way you play the game. And while I'm happy that we're getting new content, and don't get me wrong, I would prefer that we get kind of mid content if that means GTA 6 comes out sooner. I would prefer that. I am, at the same time, this content, kind of just okay. It's recycled. It's still, the thing I said in my review, which got a few people upset, was it's still GTA Online. It's just more GTA Online, right? Which is fine. But Rockstar can do more.
I mean, they are clearly restricted to some degree in terms of the theme, the genre, the style of the game. In that Fortnite is cartoony, right? You can throw anything in there and it makes sense, but it makes less sense in online. And while keeping a sense of realism in a way, humans actually doing something in a world, you can't have them all, suddenly tomorrow be purple and flying through hoops in the sky or whatever. Like you
wouldn't put it past them at this point.
I suppose. We've got all the futuristic tech and stuff, but my problem has always been that the mechanics have just stayed the same, that they haven't changed that up with some huge update, 5 years ago where there was weapon recoil or something. You always run the risk changing the game fundamentally that you'll piss off the players that you have. But I mean, we talk as if they need to do this kind of stuff when they're still so successful, making so much money. Isn't the same way that Windows is garbage, but they make so much money. They're like, why the fuck are we putting the effort to make something better when we're making so much money already? It just sucks. The game is stale. I don't think anyone will debate that. But with GTA 6 coming along, everything will be forgiven if GTA 6 is amazing.
Exactly. I'm suspending belief in a way. I'm like saying to myself, it's okay. The stuff I want is coming in 6.
Yeah.
They're not putting it in GTA Online because they're saving it for 6. So yes, hopefully all of this cool stuff, the evolving world, the gameplay improvements beyond release, hopefully all of that comes with 6.
It's like how you were talking about how Rockstar maybe wants to get back their hardcore fans and stuff. I think they will get them all back if GTA 6 is amazing. Like, they don't really need to do much else.
100%.
They will just jump in and go, well, Rockstar, we've been friends forever. When I ever
Yeah,
said anything bad
GTA
about
Plus.
you.
What's that? I love
Yeah,
GTA Plus.
Exactly.
Is that my favorite subscription service? Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. So 5M, both of us not being experts in 5M, a lot of hubbub about 5M coming out and the terrible way that it was acquired and the people who originally built it all being on the outs and stuff. There was a 300-page document released. This summary I thought was pretty good. It starts at the beginning of the 300-page document. Behind the friendly, smiling snail mascot of 5M, you'll find many dark secrets. Embezzlement, fraud, corporate espionage, leaks, favoritism, corruption, blackmail, harassment, conflicts of interest, lies, stolen valor, bribes, slander, manipulation, sabotage, laziness, greed, envy, wrath, pride. This is the story of 5M, from its humble origins as a solo developed modding project to its rise as one of the most successful multiplayer games today, a fully featured story with recollections and screenshots from the X-Team members, community members, and even anonymous members of Rockstar Games. This is talking about what's coming up in the document. Sociopaths are now in control. The founder of 5M was completely betrayed. Millions of euros were gifted and or embezzled from the company via kickbacks. The GT5 source code was bought and leaked by Rockstar employees. A team of fake developers was propped up by a corrupt Rockstar elite. All the original 5M creators were fired or quit. A senior Rockstar employee sent personal threats in an attempt to silence others. 5M is planned to be shut down. Everything will be revealed. Now, the problem with this document is that it is 300 pages long.
How many?
300 pages. 300 pages! Making me look like an amateur with my essays. But
Look, I will admit I haven't set aside the 5 days.
Yeah.
That it will require to read through this.
So I already knew about, well, because we both likely knew about a lot of the rumblings about 5M over the last, since it was acquired. Like, there were always talks about stuff going on behind the scenes that weren't very good, favoritism and then people in the original team not being treated well or promises not being kept. I covered a little bit of it.
Not being listened to as well.
Yeah, I covered a little bit of it in other videos. And Tez here has some summaries, some takeaways and stuff. But at the end of the day, the summary is, well, at least what they're claiming in the summary is what they're claiming in the document, in that everything is just kind of bad. And the question is 5M going to be a integral part of Rockstar's plans moving forward in terms of their creator economy kind of thing, creator-led content? Or do they just buy it to get rid of it? And I guess... And unless we're going to read the 300-page document, we may not know.
How much time you got?
Yeah. If you guys are interested in that kind of thing, I highly recommend reading it. But I feel like we should, I feel like it made sense to touch on just to make people more aware of it. Because obviously neither of us do anything with 5M, at least not all that much. I've done a little bit with it.
Yeah.
So it's not really impacted me. And from what I've heard from people who play 5M and stuff, they've not noticed much of these issues other than that sometimes games won't work or whatever, servers won't work because of incompatibilities when stuff is pushed out or the servers going down and stuff like that. But from my understanding, 5M is still chugging along despite all these problems behind the scenes, and it just remains to be seen how long that's going to be the case.
Until something else comes along, which isn't going to happen because Rockstar just shuts anything down.
Well, unless Rockstar makes their own thing with GTA 6 separate from 5M. Yeah. Because there was all the rumors about Rome, which is a Rockstar's attempt at this, but where did that go? Is it still around?
Rockstar online modding engine, by the way.
Yeah. It's just so much uncertainty. But the only thing I think we can be certain on is that things are not looking great behind the scenes, or at least have not been great. And I just wish everyone involved the best, as I always say. Maybe not speaking well of Rockstar Games that this sort of thing can happen with something that they've acquired, because they don't do many acquisitions. Why was this such a shitfest?
I don't know. I haven't read it.
Yeah.
Someone pay someone to spend a day reading that. And
because a lot of my knowledge of it came from reading a long tweet thread that the original creator of 5M, when they were talking about their experiences. And I also know some people who work on 5M servers. And so I've experienced this favoritism and some servers being propped up and others pushed down, depending upon the particular whims of people behind the scenes. So all this is believable to me, and I don't think it's debatable. I don't think you can dispute that it's not looking amazing. But the long-term ramifications, I guess we'll find out.
Do you want to touch on the Liberty City Preservation Project? We can probably speak to that a bit more. I know you made a video on it.
For those who don't know, there was a team called World Travel who fairly recently ported the city of GTA 4 into GTA 5, Liberty City, as it's called. Hence the name Liberty City Project. I did a lot of crossing runs in it. It was a beautiful world, a very faithful recreation. It was amazing, and unfortunately, it got taken down a week after its release or something. But it was taken down amicably or whatever. The Rockstar reached out to the team and said, "Yo, we're not really cool with this. Can you take this down?" But then with this release of the 5M document saying, "Hey, there's a lot of sus stuff happening in 5M," the team of World Travel have released another statement talking about the taking down of their mod, where they said, "We have become aware of the situation involving 5M as per this website," linking to the 300-page document. Here is a statement from World Travel. "A representative of Rockstar politely asked us to take the Liberty City Preservation Project links down because the legal team had an issue with it. He was very professional. We removed the links as a gesture of good faith and made sure both parties agreed as to how we'd address this to the community. After 2 Zoom meetings and several back and forth emails regarding how we would work together in the future, the contact from Rockstar became unresponsive in this area. Later on, we became aware that one of the paid Liberty City mods suddenly had GT4 props, custom scenarios, bug fixes, fixed up interiors, animated signs, subway and tunnel lighting, fixed traffic paths, etc. Here is one example, and linking to that. Because I had heard that there were Liberty Cities in 5M, like just in passing, but like I always assumed they were just bare bones kind of things. But I guess this is what they're saying, that, and they're ultimately accusing here of people from 5M taking their stuff and putting them in their paid GTA 4 stuff in 5M and not having it taken down. They continue, "This is a very strange coincidence considering these mods have always replaced the props with GTA 5 props, which is far easier. I emailed the contact from Rockstar, sending him a link to the project. He told me that he forwarded it to their enforcement teams, though I now have my doubts about that. Currently, these expensive Liberty City mods, some of which sell for prices of around 500 euros, are still up. It seems like claims made in the original 5M developers blog are correct. I don't want to get into speculation, but it wouldn't be surprising if someone is getting a slice of the pie. Due to these revelations, we are uncertain if this takedown request is genuine." So they're suggesting that maybe someone at Rockstar, or just someone pretending to be someone from Rockstar, asked them to take down this mod because it was a competition with their 5M Liberty City mods that they were selling for money. And these people have pilfered the work of World Travel to make their paid mods, paid 5M servers, more attractive for buyers. When in reality, like, who knows if Rockstar was actually involved in taking this down, or if maybe someone from Rockstar is getting a cut of this money from these people. Because that was a lot of the accusations in regards to 5M was this favoritism, where I remember reading specifically a part in the summary where one server would be required to follow the rules to the T, while another server could get away with not following the rules. And of course, that other server, due to not following Rockstar's rules, would become far more successful and far more profitable because they could have in the server things they weren't technically allowed to have in the TOS. By not enforcing the rules in a universal way, it enabled some servers to succeed and others, it caused others to fail. And this potentially the same way, like this stuff may be against TOS, but they're letting it slide because someone's getting some money on the back end. Someone from 5M, someone from Rockstar, who knows? But this is
someone from Rockstar.
I mean, because you never. I mean, because it could be a person working at Rockstar, but like under the table, getting money, like not through Rockstar necessarily. But if you have, permissions in 5M to do stuff, and someone comes to you and says, "Hey, I'll give you 100 grand to prop up our server." I mean, I doubt every person at Rockstar is so moral as to not accept that. You could definitely bribe someone at a company who's working a 9 to 5 who happens to have
I mean, of
permissions.
course, but like
And how are you going to prove it? How are you going to prove, unless you have like the actual writing, that
surely Rockstar has more than one person dedicated to this though, right? Like
the thing about a lot of the writing is that there wasn't much effort on Rockstar's part to take control of things with FiveM and to be involved, and that would allow this sort of corruption to ferment. I say I haven't read the whole 300 pages, but I've heard a lot of these stories from people. And this doesn't seem unbelievable to me, given what I know. It doesn't mean that it happened, but like people are pissed. Like people are angry, and it's just not good. I don't know what else to say. Like we can't fix this problem. But I hope they put it back up until you receive official documentation, like an actual DMCA from Rockstar or whatever. You never know for certain if it's actually from Rockstar.
Yet another reason that Rockstar needs a community manager. The community needs someone that's a middleman kind of to talk to about this stuff, that can get confirmation on this sort of stuff. Like in a weird way, people's lives are being tampered with in a situation like this.
It's not even a weird way. People invest tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in their servers, and then just some guy is like, no, fuck you guys. We're not going to let your server be promoted. Gone.
There needs to be better communication here. Like, you would think that Rockstar would privately reach out to these guys, right? Like, you would... Yeah, I just can't believe that Rockstar would sit silent while all of this goes on.
But were they aware?
It makes no sense.
Were they aware? Maybe with this document coming out, the right people will now be aware and things will actually get done. You can guarantee someone at Rockstar right now is reading with a fine-tooth comb all the accusations and evidence and stuff, and something might come of it, and maybe FiveM will be saved, or maybe they'll just chuck it into a blender rather than deal with all the hassle. It's sad, but I hope they bring back...
segue from that. No, you go.
No, I was saying I hope they bring back the mod. I just want to see what happens, and if they're gonna, especially if someone else is using their work in FiveM, like.
Yeah, but if you do that and it actually was Rockstar, you're screwed.
I mean, what are they gonna do? They're just gonna give you a formal takedown notice, and then you just go, well, I guess we'll take it down now.
Oh, you don't think they would
take him to court? Nah, I don't think they've ever done that. Like, as long as you take it down when a formal request is given, you're fine. They should wait for a formal one rather than sit with the informal one that may or may not have actually come from Rockstar people,
Yeah, man, I just think a community manager would solve like all of this in a weird way. Like the community managing a community for a game is kind of like babysitting. Like, I know this seems like some drama off in the corner, but it is important that it gets addressed.
Yep.
We'll
see what happens.
Anyway, going on with stuff inside of Rockstar, there was a podcast taken down featuring Mike York, who is a former animator at Rockstar. He's worked at a few companies. Do you know why it was taken down?
Damn it, no. I was like, I hope he actually listens to the podcast, because I have not.
I did.
Oh, you did? Good.
I did.
I ran out of time.
I've spoke to Mike. Actually, I'd love to get Mike on. Mike wants to do something. If you still want to do something, if Rockstar's not going to come after you again.
So give us a broad summary of the podcast. What do you think likely got taken down?
So look, first of all, Rockstar asked Mike York to get the podcast that he was on taken down because he apparently infringed on his NDA. In the podcast, Mike did talk a lot about the inside of Rockstar and let's say workplace drama. Now, the podcast is down. You can't listen to it anymore, or you're not supposed to anyway. But I can see there were a few things that Mike said in there that Rockstar probably wasn't too happy about. Mike mentioned a lot of good things about what happens at Rockstar and a lot of the bad things that happened inside of Rockstar. I would assume something in there Rockstar didn't like. He didn't mention anything about GTA 6. So for anyone who thinks that it's about GTA 6, we can shut that down now. The podcast was not taken down because of GTA 6.
Just to be clear,
pretty confident.
He doesn't work with them anymore, right?
No, he hasn't worked for them for, I would assume, like 8 years.
Yeah, so it's impressive that an NDA can last that long. Or did he say it was certainly conflicts with his NDA, or did Rockstar just ask? Oh, so he said so explicitly.
I'm pretty confident that it was confirmed that it was to do with an NDA.
Oh, okay. Well, it's impressive that can last that long. Or that, like you'd assume if with such an NDA that you wouldn't be able to talk about it at all, as opposed to that apparently he can talk about this stuff, or he wouldn't have gone onto the podcast and yapped.
Yeah,
as he
well,
did.
look, a lot of what he said was, I don't want to say complaining, but he was just talking about what happened at Rockstar in terms of he would have some ideas that would get shut down. They wouldn't let him do certain ideas that he wanted to do. There wasn't much freedom at the job. You sort of have to do what you're told.
I've heard that.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's what it was. He spoke about Rockstar India a bit. That just started up when he was sort of leaving.
So there was no smoking gun. It's like it could be anything of what they yapped about.
I would assume that Rockstar wasn't happy with the way that he spoke about his time there.
All right.
Which is why they probably deemed that something infringed on the NDA. Maybe you're not allowed to speak badly of Rockstar after you leave. I don't know what the NDAs are. But I would assume one of the things that he said, Rockstar said, hey, we don't want that getting out there that we're that type of company, and just shut it down.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know, I suppose, unless Mike himself has some knowledge at some point that he reveals.
Yeah, well, Mike wanted to come on my channel and do something, so we'll see if he wants to come on this podcast or if he doesn't want to risk any further action from Rockstar. That is completely understandable.
Yeah.
But Mike, if you do want to come on, we'll make sure that you don't say anything that could get you in trouble.
In the topic list, this is our first non-GTA topic. We're going to Japan.
We are going to Japan. I'm actually really worried that they're going to drop the trailer while we're in Japan.
Because it's April we're going, right?
Yeah. Mid-April.
So we'll have like some mobile phone reaction kind of stuff, sending to the editors or whatever to get something out. Because
I'm going to have to take like a mini PC setup over there, I think, because I am really nervous about something happening.
I mean, you're more of the news guy than me. Like, obviously, I like to do the news as well. But if I missed out on the trailer, it would suck. But I wouldn't be that worried. Like, I mean, ultimately it's the game I'm most interested in. But
sure.
Yeah, you're right though. It was a thought, bad timing and all that. But we're going for 10 days, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm going for like 11 or 12. We're getting there a bit before you. But yeah, we're going all across Japan. It should be a lot of fun. The reason we're going there technically is for this Star Wars event thing. We're using that as a reason, sort of an excuse to go over there, to be honest. But you'll probably do some live streams or something.
Oh, I'll live stream whenever I can, whatever I can. So I go quite a few places these days with Aitana. And as you may have noticed, she's very good at booking stuff and finding tickets and getting the schedules down. And like, if I went to Japan by myself, I'd be like, so what now? But with Aitana, it's like, so here's the 17 things that you need to do in Japan right now on your first trip. Like, she's reading books, like actual books about the places that she goes. And she's going on a Thailand trip with a mother for a week soon. And I catch her down there. She's reading a book about places to go in Thailand. and Laos, I think she's going to. So she's booked
That's perfect.
Yeah, she's booked a whole thing for me and TG as much as he wants to come to the things. We're going to like Universal Studios and stuff and something.
Yeah, we're going to Osaka. We're going Kyoto.
You might know more than me. I kind of, to some degree, keep myself blind a bit with this kind of stuff. Because I know...
You're keeping yourself blind because you don't want to organize stuff, man. Let's be honest.
Okay, Aitana loves organizing stuff. It's actually her favorite thing. It is not just me being lazy. But it's also nice just it being kind of a surprise. And I do know we're getting some really cool flights. I'm going like a United Arab Emirates flight with like business class and stuff, and like it's like a room kind of thing, and it's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, I'm going economy.
Yeah, it's certainly.
So that'll be fun.
We booked a bit earlier than you, I think, and even then it was ridiculously expensive. But I've not gone on many trips in my life, and I want to experience the world a bit in luxury before GTA 6 puts me in my room permanently.
And we'll probably head over to Miami again this year.
Yeah, I assume so with the trailer. With the trailer release, we'll leave Japan, fly to Miami.
I'm worried I'm going to have to cancel a flight to or from Australia because we're going to go straight from Japan to... Because I don't want to fly back to Australia and then fly all the way up to the US again. That's a waste of a flight and 10 hours.
True. Is Japan closer to Miami? I assume it... I don't even know.
It can't be further away, right?
No, either. It's
hard to get further away from the US than Australia.
Yeah. But it's gonna be good. We'll have my streamer backpack. They've actually released some other stuff for the streaming backpack that requires a second person to hold a camera and stuff. Every year they're releasing new stuff to make in real life streaming easier. They have a wireless receiver now you can put into it with a camera, so you don't have to have that cable. But yeah, it gets more complicated, but it gets easier at the same time. So we'll see how we go.
Well, you did all right with your US stuff, even though it wasn't how you wanted it to be.
Well, I mean, we didn't end up streaming in Miami. I streamed like one day there. The hard part about in real life streaming is you've got to be willing to just go in places without permission and just live stream and just hope for the best.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where you're going to be going, and you don't know if they will give you permission or whatever, and it would suck if you were going someplace and then you didn't get permission. So most people who are successful live streamers just assume permission and just go wherever the fuck they want. And I'm not willing to do that shit.
69EXP says you did all right with the pissing stream. I don't know. I don't know if they're joking, but that was so funny.
And as well, like, I have not edited all that footage yet.
Disrespect over here, hey? Yeah, I mean, really. You're not far off, mate. Come on, what's next?
For those who don't know the story, it's I was live streaming. I had a lapel mic on, and I gave the camera and the phone and stuff to Pelly. Normally, I don't have a lapel mic, so I didn't even think about it. I went to take a piss, and so Pelly is talking to my camera, and Chad's like, we can't hear you. And Pelly's like, what, really? Like, you can't hear him, but then you can hear me pissing in the background, and TG and Pelly are just laughing their heads off. Like, I don't think they could hear it, but like they could. The chat response was classic. It was really bad. So I want to edit that footage eventually, just for that. And it's
please just upload the audio of you pissing. Honestly, in the US, I'm sure that'd go well.
Yeah, even that first day though, like, I did run out of battery and stuff. Like, I have a second battery and stuff now. I learned, because that was my first time doing it, I think. So I learned stuff, and the quality was. No, was I using my phone at that point?
I think you were.
Yeah, I was. Yes, that was a very
different... like 3 phones. He had one on his arm. He had one on his stick. He had
yeah, very different from what I'm doing now. Because it was in packs. I did maybe the first one with the backpack, and that worked out well. It was just the audio that was not perfect, but I have lapel mics and stuff now for it, so should be good. Next topic was Stephen Ogg declares how he truly feels about Trevor. Did you say you were skeptical about what he said? So Stephen came out on a podcast and was just like, yo, I've always loved Trevor. Me and Trevor tight. Like, I respect the character. He's great. It's just a kind of internet nonsense that suggested that I wasn't ever in love with the character, or I hated him in some capacity or whatever. Like, he suggested like he just was in a bad mood one time, and that one instance or whatever was extrapolated to be his whole opinion.
When people call you by your character name, it's kind of weird, because I kind of get it, but I'm also kind of like, meh. Like, I know for a while with the video game, with the GTA, everyone was saying like, oh, he hates being called Trevor, and because I probably said to someone, well, my name's not Trevor.
I mean, it's not implausible to me, but there were, I think, a handful of times where it was kind of suggested that he wasn't fully into the character. And as well,
someone
Ned
paid him for a cameo
that was the main thing, yeah.
And he was upset that they were calling him Trevor.
It's like his cartoon character.
Yeah, Trevor's a cartoon. When that person, they paid money because they wanted him to do a little bit pretending he was Trevor.
So I'm Stephen Ogg. Trevor is a cartoon. So I did portray him using the magic of motion capture. But I myself could never be a cartoon, ever.
At bare minimum, it seemed disrespectful. And certainly, like, we all have bad days or whatever, so who knows what was going on that day. But I'm pretty sure I've heard Ned and Sean suggest that, like, you've seen Ned and Sean, the voice actor for Michael and Franklin, for many years in like everything together, but Stephen wasn't with them, and it that alone suggested that he wasn't as into playing those characters or being involved in that community anymore. But also, Stephen's just a successful guy. Like, he does other stuff. He's in a lot of other things. He was in a short recently that's got 1.5 million views, or whatever, that a short film, I mean. And so that his not being there as much, I think, fueled this idea that he didn't want to be associated with Trevor at all. But certainly within the last year, he's gone to events and spoken and been as Trevor and to what degree he is Trevor. I mean, he's been with Michael, Ned and Sean, so he's clearly more involved now. Whether he's always had this opinion that Trevor's cool and he's a wonderful character and stuff, it's hard to say. We can't see inside his head. But now, definitively, I think he's speaking what he actually believes, that he does think Trevor's a good character.
I think Ned Luke sort of brought him back a bit into it, because Ned, Stephen, sorry, I don't think he fully understands how much Trevor means to a lot of people.
One of the most recognizable characters of all time. In movies, TV shows.
And what doesn't help him is Michael kind of looks like Ned Luke. Frankly, kind of looks like Sean. Trevor looks exactly like Stephen. Like, you can tell. So whenever he's in other shows, if you've played GTA 5, you're like, hey, that's Trevor. So it doesn't help. And look, from his perspective, he wants to do other stuff. He doesn't just want to be the GTA 5 guy. He wants to have an acting career doing other roles. Understandable. So he doesn't want to be called Trevor all the time when he's out on the street. That's not him. He's Stephen Ogg, right? I get it. I do understand it. At the time when that a couple of years ago was going around that he didn't like Trevor, look, he kind of set himself up for it in a way. But I also don't know that there was ever reason to believe that he hated Trevor.
No, maybe not. Maybe to some degree he felt like it might have been holding him back in his career, but I wouldn't think that'd be the case. I think more that it helped him than hurt him. I remember listening to, like, say, the Seinfeld actors talk about their careers after Seinfeld, and they had trouble getting work because he's George Costanza, and so you put him in anything, that's George Costanza, and Trevor, you put him in anything, that's Trevor. Like when I was watching Better Call Saul, I was like, oh, look, it's Trevor. And that can certainly impact your ability to get additional work, but it hasn't seemed to hurt him that much. I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff since then, but that might be because
big shows as well. Like, like
Better Call Saul, Walking Dead, but that might be because at the time. But that might be because a lot more years have passed. Maybe in those first couple of years afterwards, he experienced this idea that maybe he wasn't getting roles because of Trevor, and maybe that's no longer an issue. We're speculating. He would need to talk more about his opinions over the years, but at the very least, it's cool that he likes Trevor now, at the very least. And is involved in the stuff more. He was on Westworld too. He's
it makes it a lot easier as a fan knowing that. Because if you find out that the actor hates Trevor, for a lot of diehard fans, that can sort of break your bond with the character in a weird way. So look, at the very least, it's good to know that he doesn't hate him. So I'm glad he cleared that up. I'm sure that'll give him a lot more peace as well, with people stopping coming after him, so.
So it's Leslie Benzies, right? And his team have made
Mind's Eye.
Making a game called Mind's Eye. What's his team called? It's
Build a Rocket Boy. Do you know why it's called that?
No.
Leslie Benzies obviously used to work at Rockstar. He's one of the higher ups there. He got to the office one day and he was locked out. They made his card not work.
Oh, yeah.
And that was their way of firing him, basically. So they told him, get out of here, go build a Rocket Boy. So he named his studio Build a Rocket Boy.
Do you think to some degree his making this game that to some degree is meant to compete with GTA is a little bit vengeance? To get back at them? Look, I don't need you. I don't know.
Possibly. We don't really know what the game's about, to be honest. I think the story looks good from that trailer. I think the story is an interesting concept. The gameplay...
So wait, when did he leave Rockstar again? How many years ago was it?
I believe it was just after Red Dead 2. Maybe just before.
This is a long time ago. So he's had time to flesh out a game. And the trailer looks like, it's being developed to some degree. Like it's not like starting development or something.
2016 he officially left.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. And so we both seen this trailer for Mind's Eye, the game that they're apparently going to be releasing. Who knows when? I was not impressed by it. I thought it looked very uninspired, lacking in soul. It looked like it was AI generated kind of thing. It just looked overly processed, like nothing I haven't seen before. And it in the way that Rockstar trailers seem to have charm to them, this just seemed like a generic kind of game that's probably going to be fine, but nothing that's going to rival GTA 5 in terms of its longevity and culture.
Yeah, it didn't really have that, like you said, charm. I think that's a good way to put it. There's something about Rockstar trailers, right? Where it's like, yeah, that game's got soul. It's got something. I
In a
agree.
way, it looked like an action movie from
Yeah.
like the 2000s or something.
Yeah.
Like it's like
I was impressed with the driving, how the driving looked. It looked very like almost Fortnite-esque with the physics and the driving. GTA 5 driving, Forza driving, Gran Turismo, all these games, they've got... I don't know how to explain it. The cars have weight to them. The driving physics are just good. Let's just put it that way. In the few seconds that we saw from the trailer, didn't look fantastic. I also don't even know if it's an open world game. Like, we really don't know much about it. I will say, interested to find out more.
You said you didn't know the story, but the trailer kind of suggests
I thought the story
is.
Yeah, I thought the story looks good.
Oh, so the story, from what I can gather from it, is just that there's machines that were servants to humanity, and then they have risen up in some way. Like I Robot, the movie with Will Smith,
or like Detroit.
Oh yeah,
Become Human.
I never played it, but there's a lot. The story has been done.
Play that, man.
Yeah, people keep telling me, but the story's been done before. That's another reason why, I wasn't particularly enthused. It's not showing me something I haven't seen before.
Yet, anyway.
And yes, it is early days, and
I wouldn't write it off yet. To be honest,
I'm not really, but it's hard to tell how much any individual at a company is the important factor that leads to something being successful. Like, he was in Rockstar when they made some really good stuff, and he was the writer, right? So, but what was his main roles? But he did do some writing, I'm pretty sure. Like,
what did Leslie Benzies do? Video game producer. He produced the video games, Matt.
Oh, yeah, well, there you go. So, but it's hard to know how much of his special sauce went into those Rockstar games, as opposed to him just being there, and he happened to have some very creative people working with him.
Yeah.
So we'll see how much he took with himself, and how much juice he's still got left to make this game truly special.
Even then, like, you don't know how much he did. You don't know how much Dan Houser did, for example. Like, Dan started his own studio with... What's his studio called? Absurd Ventures in video games. And we don't even know what they're doing. They've done some weird stuff so far, some audio series that haven't been overly successful. Apparently, they're working on a cool video game. It sounds like they're going to make a GTA competitor. That's what it sounds like.
Mr. Retro said here in chat something that we didn't mention, that there was NFTs mentioned as a part of Mind's Eye.
Yeah.
And all the crypto blockchain stuff, and... obviously,
Really?
I'm not a fan of that stuff, and I've never seen it lead to a particularly innovative video game or whatever. I'm not sure how much they're into it now, because obviously NFTs have somewhat dropped off the earth, at least in the Western world.
We sure that's accurate?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I haven't seen anything about crypto being involved in this game.
Wasn't he big?
Dan Houser was doing something with a video game about crypto. You might be getting that confused, unless I just haven't seen this.
The game's called Mind's Eye, right?
Yeah.
There's a crypto called Mind's Eye.
Yeah, that's separate.
Maybe it's separate.
I don't think... I'm pretty sure that's not related.
Okay, maybe I'm crazy.
But Dan Houser is... If you look at the job listings, they're hiring for people for an open world game, looking for top-of-class shooting and exploration. They hired one of my favorite devs from Bungie as well, that's gone over there now. I'm interested to see what that studio does in a few years as well.
I mean, it takes so long to make these games, and it's such a huge investment.
It'll be a decade.
Yeah. They'll be compete with GTA 7 by the time that comes out, I suppose.
Maybe not. Maybe GTA 7. You think GTA 7 will be out in 10 years, Matt? I mean, jeez, come on now.
I think they're making GTA 6 with the expectation people will play it forever. That's what they want. That's what they hope, certainly. They'll only make a 7 if they really feel like they need to. They will just keep adding to 6 forever and ever. I mean, in the same way that I doubt they're planning a Fortnite 2. They want just people to play Fortnite forever and ever. But surely at some point in time, you have to start from a foundation again, right? Because building on top of something continuously just makes the game ever more complicated and harder to update. In the same way that Fortnite right now is a mess in terms of its graphics and stuff. Like, getting a consistent FPS in that game, you have to do like 57 different small changes to get it to run optimally. And in your first game, at least in my experience, is an FPS stuttery mess, as it seems to load things, and then your next game is far more smooth. This is what happens when you have an old game like this. It's like with that game Skull and Bones, the Ubisoft game, right? Where like you had different devs coming in at different stages of the development of the game. And so one group would be removed, the next group would come in and be like, what the fuck were they doing? I don't understand any of this. How did they get any of this to work? Like the code, they just didn't understand it, and it made it hard to make changes or to build upon it because you aren't the people who originally made it. And that's just the baggage you get with any game. That
I'm amazed that game even came out with how much trouble that was in.
Yeah, and it came out and was just like, it's all right. You know, considering the investment.
I think doesn't it have like 50 players on Steam currently?
Oh, yes,
I don't know if it was all right. I
remember Skill Up, his review on it, and he was like, "This is a perfectly fine game, but at the same time, like, you made Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and that was an amazing game. Why did you not just make that again? Yeah. Why did you make this mediocre thing and spend so much money on it when you could have made something good?" Because you can't spend. It amazes me. Yeah, I don't know.
It amazes me that they can make somehow games that are worse in almost every single way, apart from maybe graphics nowadays, when the exact same studios did the same thing 10 years ago that was better.
And the thing is, it can be completely different people now. Like the brands, yes. The brand is there, but right? It's, you know. But so this is so apparently Everywhere is the NFT game, which was meant to link into Mind's Eye, both being made by Builder Rocket Boy.
Yeah, I don't know if Everywhere is still a thing.
Yeah, maybe it's gone the way of the rest of the NFT stuff and craze. Hopefully.
Last topic there, GTA 6, what's that about?
So I was thinking that a lot of my views for a month come from my old GTA 5 content. And a lot of it I've considered to be evergreen, in that you can watch it at any time. It doesn't require you to have some particular knowledge of the culture or time that the video was made. It's just still a fun experience. When GTA 6 comes out, I'm worried that while I'm going to get a lot more views with the new videos for GTA 6, my older content is going to fall by the wayside and be less appreciated and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's in a way kind of sad, because I put so much effort and passion into that stuff. And it's one day I'm going to look at it as like a graveyard of my channel. And, you know, I was just reflecting on that. Like, I've always, until I made that realization, I'd always seen GTA 6 as nothing but a positive for my content. But I guess that can't entirely be true, in that it will make our content for GTA 5 fairly redundant, as people won't be playing the game anymore. And we'll be recreating many of the same things, but just in GTA 6 as like the 2.0 of that content. And it's not a wholly a bad thing, but it's just, you know, sad.
Yeah, and look, you'd think the views that we're going to get are more than make up for
it. Yeah,
for that. But it is sad to think about, because, you know, I've got videos that I made 4 years ago that still get, you know, a couple thousand views a day. Mm-hmm. They're still doing very well. So it's sad. I look back at, like, I play a bit of Destiny 2, or a lot. I look back at those creators' videos of Destiny 1 now that are they've been dead for 7 years, right? It is sad. It's weird to look back at them and see them getting no views, and you see the odd comment, "I remember when you made this video," all that stuff. But that'll be us soon. But yeah, hopefully bigger and better things ahead.
Yeah, I have no doubts that we're still going to be around and successful in GTA 6. It's just a question of how fierce is the competition going to be, and what avenue do we travel down in our success. We are in the best spot to capitalize on the game. So.
We are, but everyone's going to be coming for us in a way. That's not their goal, obviously, but we'll have a lot more competition. But, you know, you think we would keep at least a big chunk of the audience that watched us before GTA 6 came out.
It's always a question to me how much of my audience is interested in me as opposed to the thing that I'm doing or the thing that I'm saying. Like before you started streaming, because remember when we went to PAX a million years ago, and there were more people who recognized me and came up to me and stuff. Like you were as successful a YouTuber as I was, but it was just a very different sort of.
I just only showed my face a couple times.
Exactly, and that's And now you've got more actual fans in a way that know you and recognize you and stuff. And it's a question of how many of them are there like that. Like I can release a fairly mediocre, or like I can release just an episode of All Awards, and that can get 150 to 200,000 views. But like if I do other stuff, you know, I get, you know, fraction of that sometimes. And but you'd assume that it's not just that they're interested in us, they're interested in what we can do with GTA 6, given what we've shown that we can do with GTA 5, in a way. So I guess that is in a way us, I suppose.
I think that goes for almost every creator though, right? Like even the most successful ones on the platform, if they make a video on a topic that you're just not interested in at all, you're not going to watch it, even if you do like that creator.
Everyone has that range in their videos. It's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't overthink it too much.
Yeah, wait and see. But those were all our topics for that. We got to about 2 hours, which, it's a good amount of time. Do you want to ask chat if there's any questions that they want us to answer?
Chat, I've got about 10 minutes before I need to pick my dad up, actually. So, yes, chat, if you've got any questions, you go for it. Or you pick a question. I'll be back in a second.
Do you think Michael's accountant will reappear? As a broader question, do I think there's going to be many vague references to GTA 5 and GTA 6? Absolutely. I once joked that Michael's boat will be in GTA 6 because it's just going to be like answering the random unanswered questions or showcasing the random futures of stuff from GTA 5. In the way that in one of the leaks, they're referencing the guy who dies in Life Invader. How do I always forget his name? In the main leaks from eons ago, one of the only lines that we heard. Norris. What? Jay Norris. That's it. How did I forget that name? But that's going to be a given that there's going to be many references to GTA 5. Not as many characters showing up, I think, but there'll be...
Jay Norris is dead, isn't he?
Yeah. Nah, man. What did it say? He says, nah, man, it's all conspiracies, man. He's a robot or something, or some nonsense.
There will be a lot of Easter eggs to 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. But, there'll also be Vice City Easter eggs. Like, you already see the car that was in the trailer.
Yeah.
The Ocean View Hotel.
I mean, the same way that GTA 5 made references to all the other GTAs, and they would just do similar kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is the more interesting thing is, will there be actual characters from GTA 5 and GTA 6?
I think there will be a few side characters. I wouldn't expect the main characters.
No.
But, there'll be Easter eggs to them, of course. That like, Nico had the wanted posters. The reference to Nico as well with Lester's dialogue there. And the CJ Grove Street, with the bikes.
Yeah.
There'll be Easter eggs.
Mm-hmm. Do you think people's expectations of GTA 6 are going to be too high and ruin their overall opinion? I don't think that's the case. I think
some people it will.
Yeah, I guess. For some people it could. But I think it's going to be a really great game. And if you're playing a really, really, really great game, but it's not unbelievably amazing, are you actually going to be disappointed? I don't know.
No.
I guess it depends on how... Like, if your expectations are 10 out of 10 and it hits 9 out of 10, I don't think you're really going to care all that much. But if they hit like a 7 out of 10 game, like everyone's going to be disappointed. Like everyone wants the game to be amazing and they expect it to be amazing. If it's just another pretty good game, I think there will be
people that are disappointed even if it's a 10 out of 10 game. It depends how much of this clickbait garbage you've listened to and believed. People that are expecting cryptocurrency in the game and being able to buy properties in the game that's real life, like CSGO skins, but make real money in the game. And
one thing that might cause people to be disappointed is if the sort of people who are like falling off of gaming in general, and they're hoping that GTA 6 like reinvigorates their desire to play games, and they'll play it and be like, actually no, I still don't give a fuck about gaming. Oh no, I want to really enjoy GTA. Like, it's like when some people just have a trouble now sitting down for 4 hours and playing a video game. They got TikTok brain and stuff, and they're gonna play GTA 6 and be like, this is great, but I can't be fucked doing this, and they're not gonna be able to play it, and that's gonna be disappointing, right?
I saw a thing that only 1% of people finish games.
1%? That's surprising.
Yeah, I thought that was very low, but at the very least, it's probably 10% of people finish a long story game.
Yeah, well,
it's bizarre.
It's not all of them, certainly. It's and that's
the amount of games that you start and just put down. It's insane because how much effort goes into those last few missions, the second half of the game, and it's just not seen by over half of the people that play it.
I mean, it's a good thing for devs that they get their money up front rather than like us where watch time really matters.
Yeah.
We want people to get to the ends. But the game is like, well, you've given us your money. You want to play for an hour or 10? Go for it, whatever. Do you think we'll eventually get map expansions in GTA 6? There was a weird thing with GTA 5 that they didn't really do that until Puerto Rico, and you can't even really go to the island, the free roam anyway. But yeah, I do think GTA 100%. 6, they will do that.
With GTA 6, they're building it, obviously for the single player, but they're building it with online in mind this time. They didn't build GTA 5 with online in mind. And you can kind of see that one of the latest videos I've made where it's about the map layout. The map itself works really well in single player. The map, let's be real, pretty bad for online. Everything's just you going up and down the map. You're going like up the same highway every single time, or you're flying over it. And everything on the map is you're going from Los Santos up here and coming back, or vice versa. It's not a map that was built for online. Whereas Red Dead, on the other hand, a bit better, right? You've got different hubs all around the map. You don't know where you could be starting or finishing your mission from each time. Whereas with GTA 5, most likely you're starting in the city, driving up the highway, bringing something back.
It's in the same way that with my Crossing series, like I would take the same routes each time because it was there's one fast route and one maybe almost basically the same as fast. Like I do wonder if GTA 6 they will, when they're having a map expansion for online, if they will also add that to single player as like a DLC. And so there'll be story content for GTA 6 that makes it make sense that you add the map. And then there'll be online content for that part of the map that you have to play online to do. Well, if they don't do that, like I would find it weird if they would just develop a whole area and just never add it to single player. Because if they add it to single player and it's just an empty nothing for story, that'd be weird, right? They'd have to give some reason to add it, right?
Let's hope that that's why it's taking so long, because they're planning all this out and making the story DLCs as well. Planning them to release, 6 months to a year after the game comes out. Let's hope.
Yeah, that maybe I'm being optimistic. But I do think, though, if they are doing map expansions, they will either not add them to single player, or if they do add them to single player, it will be DLC content for single player. Whether they charge people for it, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we should just call it then.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this first of what is hopefully many, many episodes of this series moving into GTA 6 and beyond. Any last words, TG?
Last words.
Those are some good last words. Thanks for watching, guys. Boop. Bye-bye. Because that's what
why am I purple? And there's like 4 of me. Okay, hold on a second. Oh.
Yeah. Cool.
Hi.
And yeah, you look pretty good. That's good. Cool.
Oh, I look pretty good. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, oh my God, I just got paid $47.
From what, Twitter?
Twitter payment, baby.
Yeah, of course, yeah. $47? That's a huge payday from Twitter.
Australian.
Oh. Because the highest I've gotten from Twitter, though, was like $25. So.
Get TGG out of here. C. Miskell, do you want to square up, buddy? Or
fight him, dude.
So how many platforms are we live on?
TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube.
Think about the amount of money you can make streaming on X.
I actually tried it. It's garbage.
Well, don't know if you know, but I just got paid $47.
Oh man, yeah, it's making me second guess.
It's like $1 million in today's money.
True. I love that meme. I say that every time whenever I'm playing a game that's old.